I'll pop those up for you.
Okay.
All right, all right. We are live, and my name is Alan Newell. For those of you who don't know me, which would oh, look at there, there's my alarm telling me it's time to go live. And tonight, as we've gotten accustomed to, we're got our great guest on, Dr. Inge Wetzel. Thanks for coming on board again, Inge. We enjoy having you. So tonight, Inge is going to talk about our number one selling product. And there's a reason this product is number one. You know, with Touchstone, we've got a three-tiered system. Detox, take the bad out, build, put the good in, and balance with our CBD products. Detox, remove, take the bad out, the detox, build with our supplements, and balance with our CBD. And tonight, Inge has so graciously decided to come on and share her wisdom and knowledge about our Purebody Extra product. And Inge, thank you so much for coming on and doing that. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Alan. Excited to share. Okay, I thought it'd be appropriate tonight to talk about the power of zeolite. And the reason I wanted to do that was because 2 weeks ago, I talked about the Fulvic Minerals Plus and the superpower from that product. But I want us to realize that zeolite is in with the Fulvic. So if you remember, and you can go back and watch the video from 2 weeks ago on the fulvic minerals, and now we're going to add the power of zeolite to that formula. 2 products for one. So here it goes. Oh, Alan, here we go again. It's not moving down. Oh, wait a minute. It goes the other direction. Let's try this. Haha, I'll get this one of these days. So people have lots of symptoms, right? We hear about fatigue all the time, brain fog. People go to the doctors for brain fog, and they want to give you an antidepressant because they don't know what's wrong with you. People have joint pains. Matter of fact, I recently had a medical doctor to join who had to take a vaccine due to couldn't work otherwise. Anyway, had a shoulder that was completely frozen, painful, wasn't getting any help from anywhere. And a few weeks on our zeolite product, and I got a text from her yesterday, the shoulder is back to normal, unfrozen. You know, just love these stories. People have all kinds of issues that I don't even know about that they're struggling with, and they just go away on these amazing products. We just love it. So do you have heavy metal toxicity? You know, there's some sneaky sources of heavy metals like your tap water. A lot of people do realize that, but a lot of people don't. You know, your MRIs with contrast, people get an MRI done and don't think that they are picking up heavy metals. Vaccines, you know, some people still vaccinate. Allergy shots, prescriptions, over-the-counter antacids, they contain aluminum. You know, implants, lots of women doing implants these days. Toothpaste and mouthwashes and flosses and fluoride treatments, canned goods. It goes on and on. Bone broth. I want to talk about bone broth just for a minute. And if you want to take bone broth and you think it's wonderful, I'm not telling you not to. A number of years ago, I sent in a calcium supplement that was from bone, from animal bone, which we now make bone broth from. And it came back with it was supposed to be organic, came back with extremely high levels of heavy metals. I have never forgotten that, and I have never touched bone broth because of that reason. What the lab told me was that heavy metals settle in animal bones. So as we're making bone broth, you know, if you can't get it tested, anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. It's such a popular, what I call fad these days until the next fad. But I personally will not touch it because of what I learned from this lab. So just food for thought. Mercury. Mercury is extremely harmful to people. It causes a range of problems, including cognitive impairments, skin rashes, and kidney problems. You know, we know of aluminum, but we don't know much about mercury. So when you're looking at this picture, those are blood cells. This spiky shape develops within hours, and I mean within hours, of low-level mercury exposure. Those red blood cells should be round, and the edges should be a little bit lighter, putting out oxygen and energy. It just should show that way. Well, this is when you get exposed to mercury, what your blood cells are looking like within hours. of low-level mercury exposure. Also, the cells become stickier. There's evidence that stickiness makes them more likely to adhere to blood vessels, or I should say the walls of blood vessels. When you take a shower, a deep breath, eat non-organic foods or even organic foods, apply makeup, do your hair, you've probably ingested heavy metals. By most counts, you were exposed to upwards of 80,000 toxins before lunch. I won't show you the list. I used to have a handout that I did in certain classes that says, 80,000 ways to get exposed to heavy metals before lunch. But it's a fact, and we don't think about it. So let's break it down and see how simple it really is. What we need to realize is that your body works on a messaging system. The only reason you can think, talk, move, blood flow in your arteries, your heart beats, whatever, is because the messages that are constantly sending out more and more messages to keep the body working. Well, those messages are hormones, okay? Those are the messengers, or you call them angels. Angels are messengers. They keep getting the messages through on what needs to happen next. Heavy metals and toxins interrupt that messaging system. They are called endocrine disruptors. A lot of people have heard that word. Endocrine is hormone, your hormone system, your glandular system. So these heavy metals, just like you see in the picture, you're driving through the mountains and there's obstacles on the road. You can't get through. Well, your messages cannot get through in a body if you have heavy metals and toxins in the system. Everybody has them. Depends on how much. You really should reevaluate every 3 months and see how you feel. Somebody says, how long do I need to do that? I say, until you stop being exposed to toxins. So you decide, right? So JEDI Master Detoxifier. That is zeolite. It looks kind of like this. It's a honeycomb crystalline structure, and it removes these roadblocks that you saw on the road. They get sucked into those little chambers, and they move out of the body in 4 to 6 hours so the messaging system can work and can get through. Some of us that are a little bit older may remember Chernobyl. Zeolite was originally used to remove the toxins from the wastewater. Okay. Later, it was used to clean up Chernobyl. It was also used to clean up agricultural feed. And then it was being recognized for human benefits. Lots of studies have been done since. They can now be found on the National Institute of Health websites. Go ahead for it. There's over 300 studies on our specific form of zeolite. We have processed foods. We were gone this past week and I ate out. Excuse me. And I tell you what, I'm still recovering from eating out. Why? I had acid reflux. When you eat out, it's dead foods. When I'm at home, some of you see my pictures. I eat living foods, fresh stuff from the garden as much as possible. But when you eat out, that's impossible. And that food doesn't digest and it doesn't want to go anywhere. And I woke up in the night with a gulf of acid reflux coming up into my mouth, and my throat was sore for 3 days after that. That's processed foods. Probably contained pesticides because I ate out. And pollution and stress, it forms acid in the body. An acid environment breeds inflammation, which is the root of all disease. I want to point to something here. Everybody on the internet talks about inflammation causes disease. They're all trying to sell something for inflammation. But guess what? We're not treating inflammation. We are the only ones removing underlying causes. How do you like that? We are the only ones that remove the underlying causes of the inflammation. So you guys rock. You're the bomb. You're the best. Nobody like you out there, right? Your kidneys balance your internal pH. pH varies a little bit from morning till evening. Your urine pH should be like a 6.0 in the morning till 7.0 in the evening. Saliva pH should stay around 6.5, 6.75. But heavy metals and toxins impair kidney function, and your kidneys have to take care of that pH. Keep it balanced, because why is that important? If your blood pH changes by 1 point, you are dead. So your kidneys are really your safeguard, keeping you alive. Take care of those kidneys. So we have elimination channels like the colon, the lymph, the lungs, the kidneys, the skin, and the liver. Those are all elimination channels. Okay, we need to keep them clean and keep them moving to get rid of stuff. 3 major areas of elimination are your liver, your kidneys, and your colon. Okay, that is where most of the waste goes through. You also eliminate waste, of course, through those other areas. Lymph is very important, especially if you've had certain viral conditions like mono. You're more prone to, things that affect your lymphatic system. I won't mention disease here, but some of you may know what I'm talking about. It's very important to keep these systems clean and keep them functioning. We're now talking about, all disease starts in the gut. It starts with what? It starts with inflammation. Again, you guys are awesome. You are removing the root causes of inflammation. We are not treating inflammation. Anti-inflammatory this, anti-inflammatory that. Yes, we will add it, but we're getting rid of the cause of the inflammation. These everlasting toxins. Somebody recently asked me a question. Does zeolite even remove these forever toxins out of our body? Yes, it does. These are among the most persistent toxic compounds, contaminating everything from drinking water to food packaging, personal care products. They're found in the blood of virtually everyone, including newborn babies. When I'm talking about newborn babies, one of the things that I want to mention people are not thinking about is so many people have tattoos these days. Tattoos with heavy metals in the body. It goes into the baby's bloodstream. It's so common and so popular. Everybody's doing it. Doesn't matter. It's toxic. So let's detox these babies as well. I do it. I do it on this side. You got to do it on that side because these children will pay for this, especially when they become problematic in teen years, emotional behaviors. So exposure affects the immune system. It harms development. It harms reproduction, the endocrine system, and it impacts the liver. They've been associated with reduced kidney function and kidney disease. The C8 Health Project associated increased levels with decreased kidney function even in children and adolescents. Thousands of communities have already detected these toxic chemicals that are in their water. We need to be aware. We can't just think it's not going to go into our system because they're everywhere. We breathe in the air that is toxic. There's airplanes, there's not as much traffic in the air as on the road. However, there is steady traffic in the air. We see trails in the sky all the time, causing pollution and other health problems. Water pollution, you can go online and you can literally put in your zip code and find out the toxins that are found in your drinking water in your specific area. They found medications in there and everything that people are taking. Okay. Soil contamination. It causes headaches and fatigues and respiratory illnesses, cardiovascular, cancer, you name it. We can prevent a lot of that. It's getting worse with every generation, what they put out. Let's take care of our future generation. You know why? Our future generation is going to have to take care of us when we get old. And yeah, I may have gray hair, but I'm not old, so I'm still taking care of myself. So how does zeolite work? Each chamber, you can kind of see a picture here. Each chamber has a negative charge. That negative charge attracts positively charged ions, which are lead, mercury, all the toxins, right? They carry a positive charge. It is a magnet for toxins. Touchstone cleanses the zeolite. Okay. That's the other thing why I stick with Touchstone zeolite. There's lots of zeolite on the market that is not cleansed. And it traps the toxins in the honeycomb structure for removal. I want to point out here that there are other companies that are synthetic. There's crushed zeolite. There's powdered zeolite. They lack complete structure. The synthetic zeolite, a company called TRS, puts out a synthetic zeolite. That one, the bonds in between the chambers are not strong enough to survive the gastrointestinal system, the stomach acid, so it loses its chamber form right there. Okay, it cannot trap if it can't maintain the chamber structure because the bonds in between the chambers are not strong enough, like I said, to get through the stomach acid. So with this particular type of cleanse, the toxins are trapped in the chambers. The toxins are not released into the bloodstream for removal like it is with herbal cleanses. And then what? The body doesn't store zeolite. It has nowhere to go. Once it is bound to a toxin, the body secretes it, taking the toxin with it. This happens in 4 to 6 hours. And it is even safe for pregnant women. How many detoxes, true detoxes, can you give to pregnant women, right? More benefits. Natural zeolite is a mineral. Minerals are alkalizing. We talked earlier about the acid pH. So zeolite helps to balance pH, and zeolite also helps protect your kidneys. Here is a study that is talking about heart attacks and strokes. This particular doctor published this. It's clear from our analysis that there is a possible link between exposure to heavy metals or metalloids and risk of conditions such as heart disease, even at low doses. And the greater the exposure, the greater the risk. Okay. And these risks often include heart attacks or strokes, but they're not looking for heavy metals. No, because they can put a stent in your arteries, right? They can go scrape them and those stents fill right back in. And several years later, you go back for another stent. And nobody looks at the toxins that are present in the body that cause these problems. There is your study if you want to take a look. And then let's take a look at your immune system. Zeolite can bolster and regulate your immune system. Obviously, the last 3 years of what we've been through, this is a necessity. This particular zeolite has been shown to increase T cell activity and increase macrophages. T cells are cells that are part of your immune system, and macrophages are part of your immune system that cleans up the debris after viruses and things the likes have been destroyed by the immune system. They look like, I compare them to little fishies. They go around your body and they clean up the garbage, or call it Pac-Man, cleans up the garbage. That's what macrophages do. Heavy metals suppress the immune system, making your body more prone to pathogens and autoimmune diseases. Again, another reason to take zeolite. What about autoimmune diseases? I love this. There is just not that much we can do for autoimmune diseases, but the antioxidant and immunomodulation effects of natural clinoptilite zeolite help with autoimmune diseases. There's your clinical study, goes back to 2005, but it helps, zeolite helps to balance. It is called modulation. It modulates the immune system. It doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't stimulate, because when you stimulate the immune system, that is dangerous in autoimmune diseases. You can never give natural supplement that stimulate the immune system, because autoimmune means the immune system is attacking the body. Okay. Now you could use things like vitamin C and D and stuff like that. That is perfectly fine. But herbs, and I don't even think that Touchstone has anything like echinacea, things like that you cannot take when you have an autoimmune disease. It can send somebody into a tailspin. But zeolite balances the immune system. It modulates. Okay. A healthy gut. One particular study found that zeolite increases the integrity of the intestinal wall. And if you take a look at the picture down here in the corner, the left half is a normal healthy gut, and you see the lines in between the cells, so to speak. They are nice and tight. On the right-hand side, that's what leaky gut looks like. Toxins go in between those cells into the bloodstream, and that causes havoc on your body. So zeolite helps to repair your gut and keeps it healthy. It also may improve mood. Things like mercury from amalgam fillings can result in depression, excessive anger, and problems with anxiety. Symptoms get dismissed, or sometimes they're misdiagnosed. Heavy metals is seldom diagnosed as a cause. We have heard more reports of even teenagers with anger issues. The anger issues went away on these products. things like that, behavioral problems in school go away. These kids just had heavy metals. You know, when kids are on their own, especially teenagers, boy, they share all kinds of junk food with each other. I remember my kids, I used to make fresh bread every morning. I grind my own grain, make fresh whole grain bread, healthy sandwiches for school lunches because I didn't want my kids eating school lunches. And their friends would trade them their garbage for their good, healthy sandwiches. I remember when I found that out, I was so upset with them. But, you know, that's what kids will do. You can't control everything. So we need to remove the heavy metals because it can help restore mood, anxiety. So many kids are on behavioral drugs. It's a sin. I tell you what, we just need to stand up against that. So zeolite also protects the body from harmful microbes. So it's antimicrobial, okay? It can fight potentially harmful bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Natural zeolites have been used to treat urinary tract infections and dental plaque formations, both caused by microbes. I take the Purebody Extra and I spray it on my teeth because I have a lot of issues with plaque buildup. So the antiviral properties I already mentioned there. It literally has the ability to absorb viral particles within the cages. Natural zeolite can replace pathogenic bacteria like Candida, and it does not have a negative effect on beneficial gut bacteria. So it gets rid of the bad and does not harm the good. We like stuff like that. Lots of people have problems. They're called long haulers, people that have been suffering from COVID for a long period of time due to spike proteins. These spike proteins are attaching themselves to the lung, the heart, and kidney tissue. Zeolite may prevent spike proteins from attaching to these receptor sites and remove them from people that have the virus, clean up vaccine-related toxins, plus those people who have been exposed to shedding. Okay, very important here that we pay attention to that because some people are really suffering long-term, and I've had wonderful results with people that were long haulers or that have taken the vaccine and turned them around. So let's wrap it up. Potential benefits. It may help with depression, anxiety, energy, autoimmune balancing, prevention of heart disease. Oh, I got a typo in there. Improved kidney function, anti-cancer, abnormal growths may and have been disappearing, improved sleep for a lot of people, healthy gut, improved immune function, improved pH. And you see a picture of pH test strips on the side. You can get those in different places and you can check your pH. Just make sure you know what you're doing. You can't just take it at any time and get, accurate readings. So when we combine the zeolite with our latest and greatest supplement, the fulvic, what fulvic can do for you, you look at all these benefits, you add all the benefits that I just gave you, we have a powerhouse. I hope you see that. There is nothing like it on the market. Let's go out and spread the word. I'm sure you can think of a few people who can use these particular products. Let's bring some good news out there and change the world for the better. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot this. There are your prices. Purebody Extra, the drops. We use them sublingually. They go directly in the bloodstream to detox the cells. The drops, the Purebody drops go in the water, clean and heal the gut. That pack is $89 with an auto ship. And the fulvic is $49. I forgot I added a slide there at the last minute because when I made the PowerPoint, we didn't have a picture of the fulvic yet, so I had to wait. Open to any questions if anybody has any. Anybody home?
Yep, I'm here, and I was looking to see if we had any questions, and I don't see any questions. So thank you so much, Inge, for sharing that amazing information, that wisdom, and we appreciate that. I see lots of people talking about saying thank you, and Stacy Fitzgerald said, it was a Facebook user, said that college ruined her daughter's diet. Stacy said, excellent, thank you. Facebook user, excellent, thank you. Awesome as usual. Why do you need both? Chuck Martin asked, why do you need both?
Both, like, okay, what I am doing, and it doesn't mean you have to do it, I am now combining the Purebody Extra with the fulvic minerals. I'm switching people from the Purebody drops to the fulvic minerals. Why? Because the fulvic minerals already contain the Purebody drops along with the fulvic minerals, the fulvic acid plus minerals. So if you use Purebody Extra, you've got a sublingual spray to go to a cellular detox, and then the fulvic gives you all the benefits of the fulvic acid plus minerals plus the Purebody drops in one product. So that's what I've been switching people to.
Exactly. Yeah. The fulvic contains Purebody, does not contain Purebody Extra.
Correct.
Perfect.
For the gut
Right.
and the digestive system, yes.
Great. Great. All right. Thank you so much. Right on time. You're at 9:25. That's perfect timing.
I love it. Let people get on with their evening. Thank you guys so much for listening.
There you go. There is one more question that came in if you want to answer that real quick.
Okay.
It said, do you think we make our own bone broth from grass-fed? Do you think if we make our own bone broth from grass-fed cows that it could be safe?
I wouldn't drink it. That's my bottom line. Each his own. We don't know what comes down in the rain. We call it acid rain. There is so much stuff that comes out of the sky and contamination. If you don't have a way of testing it, the bone product that I had tested was supposed to have been organic, sold by a supplement company that I send in, and I don't have it anymore. It's been a number of years, but I was shocked at the heavy metals, and that's when that lab told me that heavy metals settle in bones of animals. So that is just my personal conviction. I don't care what they say about bone broth.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
And I had a friend of mine, and I think, when she said grass-fed, I had a friend of mine who I met who sold a lot of beef and from cattle, and he sold it as grass-fed, and he had a lot of great customers. And people would say, "Oh, this is where you go." And so I contacted him, and he said, "Yeah, but make sure that you tell me that it's for you." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, we do, all of our beef is grass fed, all of our cows grass fed, but there are certain ones that we keep separate, that we don't feed certain things, and that we don't put steroid tabs on their ears." And I said, "Wait a minute, grass fed, so you still put steroid tabs on their ears?" And he said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because we sell them by the pound."
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely.
Grass fed does not mean organic. It does not mean, all it means is if they let them out in the pasture to eat grass.
That's right. And
Yeah.
you don't know if they put fertilizer on that grass. You don't know what, like I said, what comes down with the rain, what blows over, pesticides, unless you're QAI certified, like the products from Touchstone, where they come behind an organic certification and verify it doesn't have any pesticides and chemical fertilizers in it. You don't know what you're getting.
That's right. And we had one person who said, does the fulvic help with gut issues as well?
Yes, it does. And if you'd like, we can post the links on these groups, but you should be able to go back 2 weeks ago and listen to my presentation I did on fulvic minerals and all the wonderful benefits it gives.
Absolutely.